Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and it has been a hot second since I filmed anything for you guys. So, hi, hello, welcome back. I am sorry I fell off the face of the planet for a few months, but as you guys know, as I talked about in my Playing With Me's in the spring and early summer, we closed on our new house at the very end of July, July 28th, I think, and we moved in the middle of August because there was still some stuff that needed to get finished on our house before we could move into it. And it has been a chaotic roller coaster for the last 2.5 months. Basically, if it could go wrong, it did go wrong. We have had so many issues with our house. Obviously, we love our house, like the core being of our house, and we're very privileged and thrilled to be in what is our the bones of our dream house. But we have had a lot of issues with different things breaking. As you will see in this spread, this is sort of the culmination of basically 6 weeks straight of having either a doctor's appointment or someone doing work on our house every single day. Sometimes even stuff on the weekends, like furniture deliveries, that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's been really, really exhausting, physically exhausting, mentally exhausting, emotionally exhausting. I'm definitely someone who needs my space to recharge. And whenever someone is coming over to the house to do work, it's never like, oh, we're going to be there at 2:20. It's like, we'll be there between noon and 5. And so I feel like I have to sit around and wait for them. And I can't get started on a project like filming a video or honestly doing anything besides just sitting and waiting, maybe doing some reading or just scrolling on my phone. It definitely paralyzes me. It's just how my brain works. And then there's always someone in my house and they're making a mess and then I have to clean up after they leave. So it's always a whole thing. So that's been very stressful. And I did have some health stuff in October as well, just some unexpected health stuff. Unfortunately, I had a miscarriage in the middle of October, right before my birthday, and that definitely threw a wrench into everything else. I just had a lot of blood work and stuff leading up to it. And kind of knew it was going to happen. And so that was just another really stressful thing in the middle of basically every major thing in my house breaking down and me having to contact the warranty people to get it taken care of. And then also dealing with health stuff and being very uncomfortable and bummed out on top of that. It was really, really early on. I was it was just before 6 weeks. So very, very early. I hadn't known I was pregnant for that long. So, but it was still just, another stressful thing. And yeah, definitely another thing on my plate. And that's part of why I've kind of disappeared for longer than I intended to. I thought once we got moved in and I knew I had a few big DIY projects up front, I installed custom closets in, I did the installation myself in our bedroom and then in our pantry and changing out some hardware and, our kitchen faucet and different pulls and stuff. I thought after I got some of those projects done, installing my bookshelves, that sort of thing, that I would have all of the time in the world. And then basically everything has just continued to break and fall apart. And a lot of it is just, some of it's normal new house things where you find out something wasn't installed correctly, or you notice once you moved in that, something wasn't, cut correctly, or something's at a weird angle, or someone didn't finish something, or something needs touched up, or, the faucet in the bathroom is chipped, that sort of thing. So some of it's normal new house stuff and getting things replaced, and then other stuff I think the AC people or the HVAC people have been out 8 times in the last 2 months. It's been just everything that could break did break, and it's all under warranty, but it's still just been very, very annoying. But with that being said, that's sort of the very, very TLDR of what's been going on with me for the last few months. But yeah, this is sort of where I decided to jump back in for memory keeping. I didn't even write down my normal things I would write down for memory keeping, what I did every day. I was using my calendar very, very practically and, writing down all my appointments and that sort of stuff and to-dos, but I did not write down the way I normally record things for memory keeping in my Hobonichi, I write down like what I do every day. I did not do that basically from when we moved until this week. So I decided that the first week in November would be where I would jump back into my memory keeping. And this is also Halloween was on Monday. So I was like, I'll get to use this really pretty Halloween kit. And I love Halloween spreads. So I'll get to do that. And then I will just finish out this year. And we're just going to do it that way. So this kit is the Seance kit from Scribble Prints Co. I actually used some bits and bobs from it in my very functional coil, like spiral bound planner that I've been using to just do like to-do lists. So I've had a taste of decorative planning without doing full-blown memory keeping. And I've taken pictures of that and shared that on like my Instagram stories and stuff. I've barely been posting any like real content on Instagram or anywhere or anything. I've barely been a functional human for the last few months, but I don't have anything else on the calendar in terms of home repair stuff, like knock on wood. There's nothing else on the calendar for right now. So I'm definitely going to be able to finally get into a normal routine, which has been really hard, not having like my normal cleaning and cooking and like all of that kind of stuff that I just, I clean this on certain days. I haven't had any of that since I've moved because every day has just been like a brand new, fresh, chaotic hell. And every time I think that things are dying down, something else breaks. But I really think like the final problems have been resolved. So you will see how chaotic this week was, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. This is very representative of what my life has been like. So Monday was Halloween, and it's bad because I was dreading trick or treat. Trick or treat is my favorite thing the whole year. I love giving out candy to kids, and we're in a neighborhood with a lot of young kids, and I was very excited to see the cute costumes and do everything like intellectually, but by the day of, I was like, oh my gosh, I do not, like another thing I have to do. So I actually this day, I didn't have anyone coming over to the house. The only thing we had was trick or treat in the evening, but we had stuff like the whole last week. So I was burnt out, and I had a bunch of stuff I was working on, like projects I was trying to get done over the weekend because I didn't have time during the week. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take Monday morning and like chill out. And I listened to my audiobook and played games, and then I read. And then it was trick or treat, it ended up being really fun. And I took a glass of wine outside, and all of our neighbors were having drinks and stuff too. And then we ended up talking to our neighbors for the last hour, because basically this neighborhood is all really young kids, and they were pretty much all done by 7 p.m. Trick or treat was 6 to 8, and by 7:10, everyone was pretty much wrapping it up and going inside. So then we ended up just standing outside and talking to our neighbors and some of the parents who had come back from bringing their kids trick-or-treating. And that was really fun. We got McDonald's for dinner that night because I did not want to cook. But yeah, that was fun. And then Tuesday, I woke up and I just felt really gross and sleepy. I haven't been eating as much fast food recently, and I think the salt from the McDonald's just took it out of me. And then I had an OB-GYN appointment on Tuesday morning, and then I called my mom on the way home from my appointment, and then I came home and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna treat yourself, relax. I listened to my audiobook and played my computer game. I've been kind of playing Farm Together when I listen to audiobooks on my laptop. I did that a bunch last winter, and then I sort of stopped playing it for the last 6-7 months, but I pretty much stopped doing everything for the last 6 or 7 months. So that's not really a shocker there. And then I was just feeling really, really stressed and really, really overwhelmed because of how much stuff I still had on the calendar for the rest of the week, and just other projects that I took care of this weekend that have been hanging over my head. And I was just feeling really burnt out with having a big thing every day on top of all of the other stuff, just not being able to get caught up on anything. It's just been very frustrating to me. So I did finally clean a bunch of stuff. I was so behind on cleaning bathrooms. Obviously I touch up things and wipe things down as they get gross. So nothing ever gets really grody in my bathrooms, but I'm a person that takes everything off the counters and uses like scrubbing bubbles and like deep cleans everything once a week. And I've always done that since I was like a tween. I was responsible for cleaning the bathroom I shared with my brothers, and I cleaned that every week. It's just something I've done my whole life. And I hadn't like deep cleaned our bathroom in 3 weeks. And so I was like finally able to like clean our bathroom and get some other things done that I just had been like my normal weekly cleaning things that I had not gotten to in a few weeks. And then Joe and I have been playing Mario Rabbids, like the new Mario Rabbids that came out. So that's pretty much the game we're playing every night. With when you see like a lot of switches and stuff on here, that is what we are doing. So then Wednesday was the grout repair guy came because the grout and the caulk in our shower had like cracked and separated. So he basically came out and fixed that and then re-caulked our entire bathroom, like our whole shower and around our tub. And like they didn't caulk between like the tub and the floor. And I was actually gonna like do that part myself. He came out just to fix the grout. And then when he saw the caulk, he was early. I was in the shower when he showed up. I was so embarrassed. And we have a video camera. So I like buzzed down to him and I'm like, I'm still getting ready. You're here like 2 hours early. Can I give me like 3 minutes and I'll be down. And I like threw on like jeans and a t-shirt and I had like soaking wet hair. But he ended up, because he was early, so he's like, I have time to kill. So he re-caulked my whole bathroom for me, which was really, really nice. And then there were Scribble Prince Co. new releases because it was Wednesday. And then I spent like a little bit of time in the afternoon listening to my audiobook and gaming. I put a Walmart pickup on there, but Joe actually got that on his way home from work, which was really nice of him. And then I had some wine and read, and then I had made dinner, and I didn't realize I like dropped I made like a stir fry, and I dropped a bunch of rice on my like runner behind the sink, and I didn't realize until I stepped on it, and I like got rice all over the rug. So I had to like wash they're like ruggable, so they're easy to like wash, but I had to take everything off at like 8:30 at night and wash the rug. And then Joe and I played some Mario Rabbids. And then on Thursday, I woke up and had my coffee and read, and then I had another doctor's appointment. I had a new rheumatologist because the first rheumatologist I went to here in Columbus was really, really rude to me. The last time I saw her, she like mocked me and was really not very nice. So I found another rheumatologist and I really liked her a lot. She was younger and was just like really chill and cool. And Joe actually came to the appointment with me because medical world sucks and they take men more seriously, and Joe's also a physician. So they like believe what I say and like my medical history, even though they have like all of the stuff from my old doctors in front of them. They like believe what I'm telling them when even if Joe doesn't say anything, if he's there in the room with me, I get better reception. So Joe came since it was the first appointment, and that was really nice of him. And then I called my mom on the way home, and I went and got blood work done at like a different OSU lab that is closer to my house, because the one at the facility I was at had like an hour wait to get my blood drawn. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I'm like, if I am gonna, spend that time, I'll drive basically back to my house and just go to the lab that's a few minutes from my house. And then I went and did a Target pickup after that. And so by the time I came home, it was probably like, I don't know, I'd been gone from 8:30 until this is like 2 p.m. at this point. I don't know. It was a really long appointment. And it was kind of far away, and it was super foggy that whole morning. It was not fun. So I went to Target. I came home, I read, and then I was just feeling like really stressed and really, really burnt out on Thursday night. And then Joe and I played Mario Rabbids. That like dead ghost is basically like me dragging myself through last week. And then Friday morning, first thing, so in all of this happened like 2 months ago. We had a really bad storm and found out our side lights around our front door weren't properly sealed, and a ton of water came in through the side lights. We have a front porch, so water only comes in if it's really, really, really windy. So it's only happened like twice that water's gotten in, but obviously that needed to be fixed. So he was there bright and early on Friday morning and fixed that. And that was actually an okay repair because he was here for maybe 2 hours, but it was the front door and it was the outside part of the front door that really had to get fixed. So it was nice to like not have someone in my house while something was being repaired and not have someone coming in and out and making a big mess. So that part was nice. And then I installed the paper towel roll holder over my like sink in my laundry room. I had like one that had the stick-on pads, but it fell off. And so I just ended up mounting it into the drywall over the sink. And I did that, and that worked out just fine. And then it does say fold laundry before washing laundry, because I had like 3 loads of clothes that I hadn't folded over the last few weeks. And it was literally just like a mountain of laundry between my 2 biggest laundry baskets. And I dumped everything out on my bed and folded it. And it took me like 40 minutes to fold and put away everything. I was very overwhelmed by that. And then I had more like towels and clothes to wash after that. And then I basically spent like this day doing all of the stuff, like the little things that had been hanging over my head that I hadn't had the time or energy to do. So I went through my office and put away all of like the 2 or 3 months of Happy Mail that I basically hadn't touched, and like all of my character stickers that needed to get put away in my like binders where I take them out and put them on the sticker paper. And I spent like 4 or 5 hours organizing my office because I knew I wanted to get back into doing like plan with me's and that kind of stuff. But it's hard to do that if your stuff isn't put away and you like can't access your things. So I did that. And then Joe and I ordered pizza for dinner. And then we had a couple episodes of Great British Bake Off that we hadn't been caught up on. So I ended up we like watched all of that on Friday night. I don't think we'd watched the previous week's episode, so we had a couple hours of Gibbo to watch. And then on Saturday, Joe and I both designated like this weekend as a weekend off, because we've had so much stuff like family things, and like every weekend there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and usually at least one of the days there's a project that I need a second pair of hands with, and I need to rope Joe into doing that, and so I have to do it while he's home, and there's always just like stuff going on. So we said no. We like actually were like invited to some stuff this weekend, and we said no to everything across the board because we were so exhausted. Joe actually ended up napping for like 4 or 5 hours on Saturday afternoon. And so I basically like spent the morning with my coffee and like early afternoon coffee and reading and just chilling out. And then after Joe woke up, we played just like hours of Mario Rabbids, which was really, really fun. We've been playing like a little bit at night, but sitting and playing for like a few hours was really, really relaxing and exactly what we needed. And then we also played some balloons together, and then we just like chilled out and cuddled and like hung out in bed and like didn't have anything hanging over our heads, which was refreshing for once to have like a chill day and then not have anything hanging over our heads. So then Sunday, I woke up and made coffee and planned my like spread in my super functional like white space planner that I've been using. And I like got that done, and that was fun. And then I spent basically the whole afternoon touching up paint and like caulking different things. There were some like nail holes in our ceiling that they forgot to patch, and so I was able to use like some like caulk to like fill in those holes, and it blends in with the plaster and you can't tell. I just like didn't want to have to move our bed to like have someone come in to do that, because that would have been like such a pain. So we did that. And then Joe got Chipotle like in the afternoon. It was sort of like a dinner lunch wombo combo, and this was daylight savings time, so like that was weird too. So we ate like dinner lunch at 4 p.m. Or was daylight savings time? That was this weekend. That weekend, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. I don't even know what time it is anymore. And then Joe and I played a bunch of Mario and Rabbids in the evening together, which was, again, just like really, really cozy and nice. I feel like it's just been really nice to have time to play video games. I like hadn't played any video games at all other than like a little bit of Farm Together on my PC while I was listening to an audiobook or something. Like while I was having my coffee in the morning. But yeah, so this is the finished spread, and I really, really like how it turned out. I forgot to mention this, but I had like used headers from this in my other planner, and I was short 2 headers for the end of the week, so I just used like foil headers to fill in the gap, which is why it's missing those 2 headers there because I really wanted to do color blocking for this, but I think it turned out okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me, and I'm looking forward to being a little more regular and getting to make content for you guys again, because I've really, really missed it. This is something I've done for, I think, 7 years now, because I started the year Joe and I got married. I missed my 7-year YouTube anniversary, and I really want to keep doing it. This is like something that's super special to me, and I like love you guys so much, and it's been like a huge bummer for me to not have the time to create and to like connect with the planner community and the book community the way I normally do. So I don't know that it'll happen all at once, but I do plan on coming back with like weekly plan with me's and some reading vlogs in there, and you know, some other bookish content, and hopefully I'll be able to get like a good routine down now that most of the chaos is hopefully over. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye guys.